there's some pretty cool tools out there that will allow you to spy on your competition, or really whoever, anybody that you want to spy on, in a non-creepy way. So before I tell you about these tools and tell you how I'm using them, I want to clarify something. All right, modeling is totally different from copying. All right, I'm in no way suggesting that you copy anybody or you use any of these tools to like try to emulate somebody else's persona or anything like that. That's probably obvious. You know what I mean? So I'm going to share with you this spying data here. I'm going to share this spying data with you, but under those circumstances. All right, I'm not telling you to copy anybody. It's not like how we're doing it. This is thing number one, totally obvious, nothing new, but worth saying, okay? If someone's getting a result that you want to get, probably pretty smart to see what they're doing and model it. Again, don't copy what, their style or whatever, but just model the activity, all right? So I started posting stuff on social. Now for me, easiest way to do it is just to turn the camera on and go live. Like, I don't know about y'all, but like everybody knows, that a video and stuff is more engaging and all of that stuff than image posts and everything for social media. So I'm like, okay, cool, video, that'll be good. But then, if you try to like make a video and make the camera fancy and do a script and get the lighting right, and it's just horrible, and it's like a pain in the butt, right? So I was like, okay, screw all that stuff. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go live, mainly because it's easy. You just turn on the camera and here you go, So did that, and then started doing it more and more and more and more and more. And then started taking the stuff I downloaded, taking the stuff on Facebook, downloading it, putting it on YouTube, etc. And it's been working pretty good. Now, to give you an idea of how well it's worked, we have sold over $300,000 worth of stuff from organic traffic. All right, meaning the free stuff that I'm posting on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube and podcasts. Done over 300 grand in sales since December 1st. Like, crazy, right? As a matter of fact, we are at 3 plus about 4,500 for the day so far from organic sales. It's like bonkers. It's kind of like, I don't want to use the term free money because there's no such thing, but there's no ad cost here, so I'm thrilled. Of course, we still advertise, etc. Anyway, back to the point. So then I started thinking like, okay, obviously, it's smart to publish a lot and make content and put it on social and make offers and everything. But what's the right amount to do? Like, how much should you do? I ain't even know. And that's where I started spying. Said like that. Spying in the creepiest way possible. I started spying on Grant Cardone and my man Gary V. I know Grant, I don't know Gary, but I still call him my man Gary because I've listened to so much of his stuff. It feels like you know him. So there's this little tool. There's 2 tools out there. 2 of them. Probably more than that, but there's 2 that I like. One especially, all right? Super tool that I really, really like is something called Agora Pulse. AGORAPULSE. If somebody would type that into the comments, because I don't want to type on the phone, it'll mess everything up. That'd be great, because I know all y'all probably want to know the tool, right? And the other one called socialinsider.io. So here's what Agora Pulse can do. Agora Pulse will allow you to input anybody you want in this reporting section, and then it'll tell you how often they post on Facebook, how much engagement they get, how many people are talking to them, how many followers they're getting every day. And it'll average all that stuff out to like an average amount per day, right? Now, think about this, okay? If we can accept this concept as relatively true, which is, all right, if someone's getting a result you want, it's pretty smart to model them, not copy them again, model them, at least model the behavior. And then we have this tool that says, here is exactly what they're doing, which is posting on social media X amount of times per day. Kind of makes sense to figure out what that is and then do it, So who do you think's winning? I did like a little death match. I would show it to you on my computer, but the lighting's so bad in here, I'm just going to do it on my phone, so I can't pull it up the computer screen and show you, but I wrote it down here. Trusty notebook, new age technology. All right, who do you think's winning? We got Kern versus Cardone versus Gary Vaynerchuk for the Facebook death match. Curious, who do you think is winning in the amount of posts per day? Type the name of the person you think is winning in the comments, and I'll make a little offer to you while you're doing that. So the strategy, because you're probably thinking like, how in the hell did Kern, who went from never posting organic content on social media to doing 300 grand in sales on social media, and however many days that is. Today's the 10th, so 40 days, right? How in the hell did you do that, Frankie? Well, I'm using a strategy called intent-based branding. Part 1 of it is post organically. Part 2 is understand that every post can be an asset that continues to bring you money. Part number 3 is advertising. All right. If you would like to learn how to use intent-based branding in your business, and you'd like me and my team to help you do it and train you on how to do it, I've got a class that teaches you how. Go to brandingcall.com. That's brandingcall.com. If someone would type the URL in the comments, I would appreciate it. Okay. And offer. All right. So you always want to make offers in your content. That's one thing I do differently than these dudes. Okay, so naturally I can't see all the votes because my screen doesn't show me. I'll tell you the winner. I think most of you guys guessed it right. It is coming in first, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from, I think it's Lake Charles, Louisiana. My man, Grant Cardone, coming in at, on average, from December 1st until today, on average, according to Agora Pulse, anyway, 7.7 posts per day on the Facebooks. All right, that's our boy Grant Cardone. Coming in second, weighing in at about 201 pounds. All right, weighing in at about 250 pounds from the lovely state of Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia's a state now. Your main man, frank+kern, between December 1st and today, 4.6 posts per day on the social. Coming in last, Gary V from New York. I guess it's the South versus New York. We gotta somehow take them. So Gary V at 2.8 posts per day. All right. So what's this telling you? More is better. Incidentally, the revenue kind of tracks along with it. Now both of these guys make more money than me. At least they do on the gross. Right. I would assume they both do. Gary, I can't remember what the thing is. I think it's 150 million a year or something. VaynerMedia, good for him. Grant, good Lord. Just obnoxious amounts of money. I think, actually, I don't think I should share it, but it's a lot. It's a lot. Like the amount they net is ridiculous. So he's like easily hands down the winner, right? In terms of revenue being produced, okay? So, and he's got the most followers, incidentally, most reach as well. So if we look at that, it indicates that, hey man, the money is in doing this more. Right? The money is clearly in doing this more. Now, I did another research, and I used that. I keep always forget socialinsider.io. Socialinsider.io is an Instagram analysis thing. Not quite as cool as Agora Pulse in terms of the recording from my perspective, anyway, but still cool. Cool enough to check it out. All right. So I looked at me versus Grant versus Gary, and it'll let you do comparisons and everything. They're winning. They're winning in terms of the amount of posts on Instagram, but where they're really winning is the amount of engagement on Instagram. By the way, I'm beating both of those dudes in terms of engagement, percentage-wise engagement, like how many, comparatively speaking, my reach to theirs, the engagement. I'm getting more engagement, which is awesome. All right, and I'm also getting more people talking about my stuff than they are, because Agora Pulse shows you all that stuff, right, which is awesome. So I guess here's one thing we want to take away from all of this stuff so far. All right, thing number one, someone's got what you want to get, which is a lot of fame, money, whatever it is, contribution. Both of those guys help a lot of people as well. You might want to model their behavior. In this case, the winner, Grant, 7.7 Facebook posts a day. Okay, awesome. Now, thing number two that might have escaped you is this. Now, the name of the game is engagement, right? So both of these dudes have years head start over me. And again, that's just me. Come on, everybody who said you should do social, y'all told me so. You're right. Damn it. I just started in December of 2018. That's embarrassing. But my man Kern here is getting more engagement than these dudes. So look at Frankie compared to Gary, compared to Grant. What are they both doing that I ain't doing? They both being fancy, right? They got really fancy videos. I've got some, but 90% of my videos are just like this, right? I'll just come to y'all live, and then I'll take this footage and I'll edit it and chop it up a little bit, and we'll put a headline over it, and it ain't even that fancy. You've seen them, right? So it ain't fancy. So here's what we can potentially take from that. Data's a little bit early, but my conclusion, at least this is what I'm personally taking from it. You ain't got to be fancy. I ain't fancy. I'm shooting this on my phone, and when I got to get super fancy, I'll shoot it from my laptop using BeLive.tv so I can share the screen and stuff. That's the only reason I ever use the laptop, or in case the phone's dead, right? So here's what we know, all right? So let's just kind of assume that we can take both of these things as like a trending, factually accurate, you know. Number one, more posts equal better. Number two, ain't gotta be fancy. By the way, if you wanna like really do this and be very, very serious about it and model the intent-based branding strategy, go to brandingcall.com. Ugliest website you've ever seen. It's literally a blue button that you press, and then there's like a form, and fill out that little form, and you can talk to Tyler from my office. He'll give you some ideas that like how to use this stuff for your business if it's appropriate, and then he'll tell you about our class. And if you want to take the class, great. And if you don't, no problem. Pretty laid back organization we got here. But if you're interested, go to brandingclass.com. No charge for the call with Tyler. There is a catch though. You got to be selling stuff. All right. So like if you don't have a business or a sales process, I don't really want to enroll you in the class or take your money or anything. It's kind of weird. Just keep watching my free stuff. But if you're selling stuff, go to brandingcall.com. All right. So here's other thing, reason number whatever, as to why posting 7.7 times a day is really not a big deal. Because you ain't got to make new stuff. Like we already know there's the 3 core messaging pillars, but dude, even if you basically said the same 2 things over and over again, you're probably not gonna be that bad off. And here's why. You're on Facebook, you're on Instagram, right? Look at your news feed. Like unless you engage with my stuff constantly, you're not gonna see it all the time. Right? Now, some people that watch all of these lives, like Facebook's algorithm, they're going to keep showing you my stuff. It's only because you engage with it. Most people don't engage at that level. So the average user, if you like put up a post today, they're going to see it. It's going to be in their news feed, and then an hour later, it's gone because it's down, especially on Instagram. Right? So if you post 7 times a day, which is roughly every 3 hours, okay, then it's not like the same people are going to see it every single time, which means you could literally post the exact same thing. I've done it. So summarize, here's what I learned from spying on a couple of dudes. Here's what I've learned. Number 1, post a lot. Grant's clearly the winner in revenue, probably. All right. I mean, I would like be willing to place a sizable wager that he's the winner in revenue, generally speaking. 7.7 times a day. That's the big thing, number 1. Big thing, number 2, it ain't got to be fancy, because I based that on, in case you're just joining us, I'm getting more engagement than both of those guys, meaning more people, comparatively speaking, right, on a ratio basis. I'm getting more engagement than them, and my stuff ain't fancy, where theirs is super fancy. You know, I mean, it's really, really cool looking, especially Gary's. You know, Gary's stuff looks really, really good. Now, both of them look really, really good, their production quality. Mine's not so fancy because I ain't got time, right? So you ain't got to be fancy. That's thing number 2 that you can ascertain from all of my spying. The tools I use are Agora Pulse and, my screensaver. What was it? socialexaminer.io. Really crazy about Agora Pulse, by the way. And that's it, right? So if all the stuff I'm talking about, by the way, is a part of a bigger picture approach called intent-based branding. 3 pillars to it. Pillar number 1, you post a lot of content. I start with lives. By the way, I can take the footage from the live and then chop it up into a smaller video, which we do all the time. All right, so start with lives. We put out a lot of free organic content to people. That content is designed to give value, build goodwill, and make an offer. So I make an offer in every single one. Pillar number 2 of intent-based branding is every one of these things is an asset for your business. Every piece of content, especially video, that can continue to serve your business long after you've made it. Pillar number 3 is, after about a month of doing this stuff, if you choose, it's optional but recommended. Pillar number 3 is advertising. You take your best content, turn it into an ad, and start running that. It's got a better chance of winning, a lot less risky right out of the gate. All advertising is risky, but this diminishes it a little bit. So that's what intent-based branding is. The 3rd step is optional. I do recommend it, though. If you want to learn how to do intent-based branding, like come up with what to say, how do you structure your content, how do you find out what your core messaging pillars are, how do you make an offer every freaking day without driving people crazy, go to brandingcall.com. That's brandingcall.com, and you can set up a time to talk to Tyler. Now, again, it's a horrible website. It's literally a blue button. It redirects to a type form, actually. It's a blue button you have to press, and then there's some forms and stuff. There's like 4 questions or something, and then you can schedule a call with Tyler. The only catch is you got to be selling something. You know, so if you're not like actually selling anything, then we won't schedule the call, because like, what's the point? What are you going to build a brand for? You know, it's like, here, let's help you continue not selling anything. So there is that that little catch to the whole thing there. Yeah, so nice to see all y'all again. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for watching so much. I hope you found this helpful. I'll see you tomorrow. I've got clients coming in tomorrow, my flagship clients. Still going to come to you live, though it might be later in the day. We'll see. All right, but regardless, we're still going strong. Take it easy, everybody.